This ant is the most hunted animal in Australia. The government wants them dead. Join me to capture, study, and then kill 7 fire ant queens. A boring bit first. The purpose of this video is to advise people about the dangers of fire ants and to teach you how to identify this invasive species so you can also rid the environment of this pest. Imported red fire ants are a pest to Australia, and we advise you to report and bait fire ants at every opportunity. The collection and same-day destruction of the queen fire ants we pick up in this video is only for educational purposes. Okay, so the capture of these queens. While playing golf, I wandered off the green, as I always do, to look for ants. And I got a real shock when I saw these ladies walking around. I quickly tried to get as many as I could before they started to burrow. Not because I wanted them, but because they are a terrible danger to our environment. But look at this! Look how fast she can get into the ground and completely disappear. She burrowed incredibly quickly. All you can see is her shiny abdomen sticking out. I eventually used some metal to get her out. But I was amazed at their digging speed. So I looked for quite a long time to make sure I got them all up, but in the end I picked up 7 queens. Okay, very important. The first thing I do when I get home is to report them, with the exact location. So, let's look at the queen. She's quite obvious with her reddish-brown colour and shiny exoskeleton. She's quite small at around 8 to 10 millimeters, but she is one fiery little lady. This species does something different to almost every other ant species. They can survive and thrive with multiple queens in one colony, which you can see quite obviously here. It looks like they're the best friends in the world. They couldn't be more cozy. This makes their ability to spread rapidly incredibly easy, and that's one of the reasons they are so hard to eradicate. Well, these queens do not waste any time. In the space of 6 hours, they have laid a huge bunch of eggs. It really is quite incredible. I'm glad I didn't leave them to lay these eggs in the wild. You can see how quickly their colonies would have developed. These red imported fire ants destroy ecosystems. When they establish colonies, they displace native species, damaging biodiversity. They're called fire ants because of their sting. They are super aggressive, and their injection of venom causes a burning sensation just like fire. They will swarm and sting en masse, especially if you disturb their nests. Okay, so the bit you've been waiting for. Now, I could have just done this very quickly, but these are probably the most studied ants in the world. These ants have killed 85 people in the USA from anaphylactic shock. So I want to educate you just how dangerous they can be to people and other animals. The best way to do that is to show you how its sting affects the giant bull ant, one of the most dangerous bull ants in the world. So my first test is with a worker bull ant. As you can see, as usual, it is super aggressive. Pretty quickly, it senses the fire ant and goes in for what it believes will be a quick kill. But this tiny fire ant understands it's not the size of the ant in the fight, but the size of the fight in the ant. The bull ant strikes and tries to sting the fire ant, but the fire ant counterpunches quickly and manages to sting the bull ant. You can see the fire ant gets its stinger into the bull ant, while the bull ant's stinger doesn't even touch the fire ant. The bull ant goes for a second strike, but immediately throws the fire ant away. Now, watch the bull ant reel. It is immediately affected, lurching, staggering and walking in circles like it is drunk. It's clearly disorientated and struggling to move properly. 30 seconds later, and the bull ant goes for another strike. This time, it doesn't even try to use its sting, but instead opts to destroy the fire ant with its razor-sharp pincers. And the fire ant is almost cut into two, its abdomen and thorax only held together by a thread. But if you watch again, you can see the fire ant got a second sting into the bull ant. The bull ant is not well. It's twisting and writhing its abdomen like it is in a lot of pain. I've never seen a bull ant act like this, so that fire ant must have a very powerful punch. But check out this very resilient fire ant. She's like the Walking Dead. It's the stuff horror movies are made of. Anyway, let's put her out of her misery and give her a blast of insect spray. Her sacrifice for science is well appreciated. By the way, the bull ant recovered, and within about 30 minutes, it was walking normally again. My second and final test is with a queen bull ant against another of the fire ant queens I collected. This lady strikes almost immediately at the fire ant. This time, the bull ant does not have time to sting, as the fire ant quickly stings her first. The bull ant drops her straight away and starts to show immediate effects. She's staggering, keeling around frantically, and she's doing unusual movements with her back legs. The bull ant queen strikes for a second time at the fire ant, this time doing the same pincer move and almost ripping her in two. It's hard to see, but let's look at how the fire ant gets another sting in the bull ant. See her body move up? Look at this incredible reaction from the bull ant. She's really uncoordinated and swaying on her feet. Once again, this ant has taken a massive blow dealt out by the fire ant. She's scrunching up her abdomen like the first worker bull ant we tested and moving those back legs around frantically. She can't even coordinate her final strike on the fire ant as she is so disorientated. She keeps striking and missing. But the fire ant is in trouble by now. Its bottom half is at an angle. The bull ant comes in to finish her off. And suddenly there is only half an ant. Wow, have you seen anything like this? This shows you just how dangerous these ants are. They can survive even when they have been cut in half. Time to finish this experiment, but there has been one major discovery of this scientific test which I'll mention in a second. Let's end this all quickly for these remaining queens. Time for the insect spray. A quick blast and they are all exterminated. Now the queens are gone, the eggs won't survive, but we'll eradicate them anyway. I've sprayed them with insect spray and filled their tube with boiling water. So, what have I learnt in this video? That the red imported fire ant is an extremely resilient species that can survive against predators in the wild. In both tests, the fire ant walked away unharmed from the bull ant's first attacks. The only reason the bull ants won the battles is that they were both contained in the same outworld. In the wild, the fire ant would have escaped easily. And this really explains how the species can spread so prolifically. A final warning about fire ants. This video was made for educational purposes to advise on the dangers of fire ants. We are ant professionals and keep and handle thousands of ants. We advise never to collect or disturb fire ants and report them immediately. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more ant keeping adventures and tips. Until next time, happy ant keeping!